homosexuals, what a special workout today. I'm certainly feeling like a sort of snowflake, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, I had fun today. Today, like, the whole goal was to really just re-prime my core, get my low back especially feeling confident under the barbell, because that's just the first thing that goes whenever you have to take time off or when you get sick, and that's just what we're dealing with. So today, just decided to make it a little more simple and do a Klokov pause with a power snatch. If you don't know Klokov, one of the best weightlifters ever, it's just kind of named after him through his own merit, but it's just basically like a 3-second pause at your knees on the way up, and then I did a power, and oh boy, did that feel so fun. It's really nice to see how much power I actually have when it comes to these lifts now, because it used to be a lot more just muscling through it or using the momentum, and now I can really lock in my main muscle groups, and rather than just using the overall strength I have for just ooga booga putting that shit as high in the air as I can, it's more so now that I can actually lock my muscles right where I need them to be, so I can have that highest, most vertical pull. Because especially, like, the first thing that'll happen on a power snatch that'll dictate whether you fail it or not, or if it looks a little ugly, is if you push your hips into it, or you let your shoulders come back a little bit too much when you're standing there in the pause position, because a lot of people will come up and let their shoulders go back like how they would at the top of the snatch. You got to let your shoulders stay over the bar so that you can have a proper straight vertical bar path on the way up, because you can't re-fix it once you're already there. You kind of have to have that mental image before going into it. And then again, if you push your hips into it, you're going to jump forward, and then the weight's going to catch weird on your hands. You might get injured. You don't want that kind of stuff to happen, you know? We want to stay safe. And it felt pretty good. I will say 185 was so ugly because of exactly what I just told you. I did not get under it right when I needed to. I didn't fully extend my elbows, lock out my wrists, everything, all of the above. Didn't feel good. So I just went up 10 pounds at a time, and somehow we made it to 2 plates. That is something special for sure. I'm very happy with that. But all in all, I got to really just be happy that I got to get in here and feel healthy. Because I mentioned yesterday about my stomach issues that I've been having. And just a little redirection when it comes to your diet can make a world of difference. Because I really do feel amazing, even though I've been eating less. It's really odd because I'm used to eating so much more. But people always say more is not always better, And so I'm eating 2 smaller meals instead of 1 small, 1 big meal before the gym. And I save my biggest meal for after the gym now, even though I normally did eat a good bit when I got home either way. And my digestion doesn't have to do so much work, and I still feel pretty physically peaked. So I can't really complain. Other than that, back squat, decided to get a little funky with it, a little different kind of variation. I used to do this a lot when I was recovering my knee. If you have never tried it, I know it seems a little over the top, but it'll prime every single part of the squat, in my opinion. If you want to just do something that's a little bit low-key, not anything like that you have to go crazy on, even though I kind of did, I just got to, the way that I set it up, let's get to that first, is I'll do a normal squat. It's just 1 top single for whatever comfortable heavy weight that I can hit with good form. And I'll pause once at 90 degrees on the way down, pause once at ass to grass, and then pause again on the way back up at 90. And of course, doing that slow controlled, feeling the weight out on the way down, pausing at 90 and ass to grass, that'll prime most people to the minimal extent if you want it. But that pause at 90 on the way back up, you got no clue what core stability means when you explode out of the hole as hard as you can, and you just have to stop instantly. You have to cut all momentum out of the equation, It's way easier to come out of the hole and just fully drive through than just to come up, then cut all the momentum. All the strength is gone. You're just trying to hold on for dear life, and then driving through again halfway up through the squat, I'm very proud of the weight that I got to today. 4 plates is nothing to shy away from. I'm going to be bragging home about this one for sure. And I was getting hyped up, man. People were like, damn, that's a crazy 405 squat. What you about to do? And I was like, you have no fucking clue the kind of variation I'm about to do. Everybody thinks I'm going to try to rep this out or hit a PR. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to do something that looks very overcomplicated and stupid. But the reason I do this is not just to do something extra or out of the ordinary. Every lift I do has a purpose behind it, its own individual meaning. And especially with these accessory lifts or the days where I'm going a little bit easier on my main lifts, I want to come up with these fun, inspiring new ways of doing the lift itself so that I can not only spark that passion even more, because it's kind of like a new lift in its own, but it also makes the primary focus shift from just overall ooga booga putting strength up and getting stronger, and allows me to actually focus on my technique and my core a lot more. Because when you make the variation hard enough, everybody always asks me, how do you get your bench or squat stronger? What accessory should I do? And realistically, even if it's not that a popular opinion, I don't know how many people would agree with this. For me, and I've seen it with a lot of people, and I just don't think enough people have tried it, you really just need to bench or squat more, Just do it one more time in the week than you're already doing, but add a variation, Do a slow tempo. Pause with a long pause, Do the 3-way pause like I did. Make it real special. Or even better, something else. Slow on the way down, explode out of the hole as fast as you can. Anything can make it more difficult and make you hone in on those little parts that you never really think about. Especially last week on bench, I did the slow tempo pause reps, going as slow as I could on the way down. And I haven't felt my triceps burn like that in a minute. It's the same movement, it's just moving slightly differently, and it hit a completely different muscle that I would have never hit otherwise. It's pretty astounding how full body you can work yourself without actually having to do all these extra crazy accessories when it comes to machines or dumbbells. I'm not saying that they're bad in any way. Do whatever you want that makes you feel stronger. But if you want to get stronger specifically in those powerlifting lifts, find some variations that make it just a little bit more difficult to do on the days where you're not trying to go as heavy. Because then you get to put in maximum effort, have just as much pumpage, but you just don't have the same risk, because strength lifting is always going to be a risk to your own body's well-being. But all in all, beyond that, physically, I'm going to give it a pretty whopping 9.1. I felt great, I really cannot complain. I haven't gotten to that real high hype state yet, because I'm still in this little fuck around area where I'm just feeling the weights out and seeing what feels good so I can prime my body again. And then just kind of taking my time, having fun with it for the most part. And, that's just kind of how it is. And other than that, my core still isn't fully primed. This helped a lot. And this got me to a point where I can definitely get a lot more confident in the next upcoming workouts, especially. But, I gotta really take my time and just embrace what happens along the way. Mentally, I'm feeling phenomenal. I've been having great. Yesterday's video really got me a bit motivated to work on myself and my appreciation for what I'm doing. And it definitely made a bit of a difference for me, because it's always good to get that better understanding of what you want to do in the moment. So I'll before I even get into it, mentally, I'll give it a solid 9.45. I'm feeling great, I really can't complain, and that's something you really have to hold it and you got to cherish that dear to your heart. The ability to not have to complain about anything, because it gets so easy to complain about the smallest things or the things that don't really pertain to you or matter that much to you, in your actual long-term living daily situation and your positivity and your happiness individually. So if I'm sitting here saying that I can't complain, then what is there to be fucking mad about, Why can't I just enjoy what I'm doing and just keep loving it more and more? But something I really wanted to talk about, you do not know, you can never know who's going to run into your life, man. It is so funny how life works sometimes, where you just will be doing the same old, you make that next step. For example, if you've been here for a minute, I lived in Orlando for a while before I came here to Alabama, and circumstances came up, opportunity happened, and I said, let's make the move, and left a lot of homies there. And not like the relationships ended, it's up to me if I want to keep contact. And of course, the positivity and the uplifting that we gave to one another doesn't just go away because I'm not there seeing them. Because it's one of those things where you get such good relationships where you can see them tomorrow and you pick right back up on that positivity. That's what I love about some real good people. But specifically, had like one of my best friends, for sure. Really outstanding dude, you know? Regardless of all his own problems or whatever we worked through together and talked about and grew together through, you know? He was one of those 4 a.m. kind of friends, you know? And when I say that, I mean like someone who will show up someone who will show up at any time of the day, you know. And I like saying 4 a.m. friend because there's not a lot of people that'll get up at 4 a.m. and show up and do everything in their power to support you if you genuinely need it. Because that is what a true friend is for, you know. And it's rare to have that kind of relationship now. A lot of people are so focused on their own life, which is not a bad thing, but it's good to cherish those relationships in a selfishly selfless way so that you can uplift other people while uplifting yourself by seeing their own progression. You know, it's inspiring, it motivates you, it gets that passion flowing. And I get this text while I'm at the gym, about to hit my heaviest set at the 4-plate squat, and my man Zach hit me up. Oh man, I'm getting so excited thinking about it. He just completely ambiguous. I haven't talked to this man in months. Says, I hope you missed me, my homosexual. He knows what I'm about. He said, I hope you missed me, because he decided to do Air Force, and he is going to be stationed an hour away from me. And man, I know it seems far, and some people wouldn't be willing to make that kind of drive, but when you have that cool of a person in your life that you just really want to be around, shit, oh man, it's always so fun to see how surprising life can get when you just allow the positive things to happen to you instead of just worrying about them or putting expectations on everything along the way. You know, just embrace your present day and just live every day to the fullest, and things are going to happen. You're going to sit there and be like, shit, did I deserve that? I was just living. And it really does not take a lot to have a good, positive daily life. And so when I got that text, man, I got so excited, and not just because I got an old friend that's going to be nearby, or at least closer than it would have been, but it's something that I know is going to keep me even more motivated. You know, it's another way to put myself in an extraordinarily positive environment, because it is a choice to live positively and surround yourself with those kinds of influences. Because a lot of people will say that they were dealt a bad hand, or that the people around them are limiting them, and it's harsh and it may seem extreme, but if that's how you feel about certain people, start making some distance, or at the very minimum, give yourself the individual attention to go have some fun and meet some new people. You know, the people that you may think you're stuck with right now is not the end all, you know, of whoever you're supposed to meet in your life and have the closest relationships to. That happens in high school a lot, where people will grow up with the same individuals their whole childhood and think that there's no better relationships that can happen from that. But dude, your childhood is such a random, crazy time, and it is not that long in your long-term life, that I promise you there's always going to be more. And the more great relationships you make, the quicker you get at finding those gems of people. And that's what, you know, on top of the food, water, and shelter shit that you got to really keep cracked down so that you can just put passion into the rest of your life, I think every person needs another person to uplift them. You know, people need people. We're social beings biologically. And if we were on this earth alone, we'd be driven insane with our consciousness. I'll tell you what. Because I can give a perspective of how I would be tomorrow, because I've lived my whole life with people. But if I was just born this way, like, I can't imagine I'd be any better than a robot, you know? So I'm truly blessed and thankful to be able to have certain kinds of individuals that will give me this feeling where, especially like that's why I talk about my girlfriend a lot, where I know no matter whatever small things appear to be getting in the way, I already know I'm going to be good. I already know I'm going to be able to love life and just do my thing, because I got the key. I got the sources to depend on and back me up when I truly need it. So anytime anything's ever going to feel like it's impossible or not able to be overcome, I know that's horseshit, because I got people that love me, you know? And I'm so proud to say that, because I know there's people that don't have that, especially with how I work in the psych ward. I see so many individuals with such poor circumstances that it really humbles you and makes you remember that even just having that one friend, even if you just got one, that means a world of difference to zero. I'll tell you that right now. If you think you don't got enough friends and one isn't enough, cherish that friend, you know? Do yourself the due diligence to meet more people, but cherish those people, because they're rare. They do not come by often, and it is a miracle to have that kind of positive influence in your own life, because you don't ask for it. There's no expectations on it. They just choose out of the kindness of their heart, in a selfish, selfless way, as I keep saying, to uplift me so that they can feel motivated and passionate themselves at the same time. We're like mutual parasites building off of each other's positivity. And that's what the fuck I like to see, you know? Anyway, that's all I got. I didn't want to go off too hard about all that, but it's just got me excited. You know, I'm excited to see what the future's going to bring with this new relationship. You know, who knows, in a year or so when I got to move out of this house, or if that's going to be the next step, could see if he wants to move in with us, or if we can go move with him. You know, you never know. That's what I love. I mean, shit, I'm living with one of my childhood best friends right now. I never thought I'd see them again in my daily life. You know, so it's cherish those opportunities that come up that you really never thought could happen. You know, even if it seems you're not supposed to change because you've been in a place for so long, does not mean you can't make that big jump to make something new of yourself. You know, go for it. Shit. Anyway, let me know how y'all's lives and lists have been going. You know I love hearing about it. I'll be back tomorrow with a pause snatch full complex. Or just like, yeah, it'll be a pause snatch full complex. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but we're going to figure it out. Other than that, it'll be normal bench press. So I might try something a little stupid tomorrow too. I might have a little bit of fun. You know, try 3 plates for a set of 6 might be a little something to look forward to. All right. I love you guys. I'll be back. See ya.